It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans. You're checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's your boy, your nephew, your cousin, the Grappital region's best kept secret, the world's greatest hater, the Don Chaz Evans, and you're checking out the 3 Count Podcast Debate Show, Chaz and Friends. If you didn't know, I'm Chaz. Let me introduce to you my friends. Introducing first, over to my right, probably your left, because this thing is all types of messed up. So, with that being said, he is the landlord of the Dog Pound. He was the Voltage Wrestler of the Month, I think, this past month. He is also my tag partner this weekend. And where are we at?
We're Havre de Grace.
Oh my God.
Havre de Grace, Maryland.
Oh my God.
For EWA Wrestling, all right, Ignorant Dogs are coming back. He is the man that really runs the 3 Count Podcast because I don't do anything really. I just talk crap. And he does. Yeah, so boom, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Dog, Cliff Miller!
It sounded like you strained a testicle.
Yeah, it really did. Yo, damn. It is the Air Force Veteran Intel Specialist, the one you call on when you need to get the job done, and your friendly neighborhood Red Dog. Also, the DICK of this industry. Whoa. The dog in charge, kid. Get your mind out the gutter.
Sorry.
That's what we do.
And next, and certainly not the least, all right, he is from the underworld, okay? The Underworld, Utah, all right? That's an actual place. Underworld, Utah, all right? Listen, this man was there for the very first wrestling match. If you didn't already know that, I feel like I say this every week, but just in case for our new viewers you didn't know, this man was there, okay? When a headlock was a finish, all right?
He was there. Those were the days.
Man, he was telling me about there was this one angel and this other angel, and the demon was like the referee, and the finish, right, was a drop toe hold.
I'm tapping like a baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dark Lord himself, Master Xehanort, Damien Fatal.
What's up, fuckers?
I knew after I said your name, I go, he's gonna go, "What's up, fuckers?" And that's exactly what you did. Oh man, but what's Gucci, guys? How are you? We didn't have a show last week, so I feel like we haven't talked in like 2 weeks. Even though I talked to Cliff every other day, and I talked to you, Damien, earlier today. So
yeah, I can't tell you what happened to me last week. We're going to talk about that off the air.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very interesting story. Just say that. It ended up me having to post up like a goon.
Speaking of the goons, they lost just now at Pro Wrestling Vibe, Bramatica down there in DC. Yeah, they lost to Edith Surreal, Trisha Dora, and the mystery partner, which I won't spoil. You got to watch it, okay? It was Erica Lee. But yeah, they lost.
You weren't going to spoil it.
I changed my mind. Yeah. So,
Wow.
Welcome to the show, guys. Let's get to these announcements. Blase blah. Yeah, if you haven't already done so, make sure you follow us. All right. Am I pointing correctly?
Yes, you are.
Wonderful. I had to make sure I just point the opposite. Okay. Yeah, you're lucky, Damien. You just get to go straight up. You're in the middle.
I know, but I still have to make sure.
I mean, is he really in the middle though? I think you had the right words when you're like you're down. You're down. Well, you got to point straight down. Up.
But yeah, whatever. Just follow us, yo. Okay, 3count_pod on Twitter. 3Count Pod everywhere else. Go buy a shirt. Okay, listen. We're on. We're not on there yet. But we're in the process of being on FOIAware. All right. I just got to get the paperwork. It has to be sent to me, so it's not on me. Okay. So I did do
So
it.
you actually were moved forward. Nice.
Yes. See. So we're moving forward with going to For Your Wear. So buy a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees because they will be gone. Seriously, soon.
It's funny because like I during the week, like I sent a message to Chaz and I was like, "Ayo, like reach out." So I did kind of like nudge the ball in that move. So it was
he did, and I'm not even gonna. And I did it though. I listened. So there's that. But it's we'll be on For Your Wear very, very, very soon. But until then, you better go get your shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees because they will be gone. I promise. I really and I keep my promises. They will be gone very, very, very soon. Anyway, Cliff, tell us what's coming up on Now Entering the Ring.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I gotta go unlock somebody from the front door. As I just got a message.
What? Is he leaving? Oh, he's left.
Yeah, I had to go for a second. He'll be right back, fool.
Hey, babe.
He's letting somebody in the door.
Well,
yep,
it's probably his wife.
I was about to say, whoever Babe is, I would hope that's his wife.
Look, if it wasn't, I was getting off. I was just letting you know that. Like, I'm out.
First of all, like even if it wasn't, that is not your call to make. All right, good sir.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But it was the wife. So anyway, let's get into it. Right. So going on in Studio 1B, yes, we do have a guest coming in this week. He comes to us from the Wrestling Chop Shop on YouTube. You guys can follow his stuff there. He is the one, the only Axel Guzman. So you guys go check that episode out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I was on his podcast earlier this month, so we wanted to bring him on and talk to him because this man is over like crazy on TikTok as well as IG, and we wanted to bring him in to get some information on how we can do that too.
All right, bet.
Absolutely. Alrighty. I don't have the indie spotlight. Me and Cliff ain't got no results, so no indie spotlight. I got one for you. Mercedes Monet is the new IWGP.
That's not indie though.
You're right. It's not indies. Okay. How about
not technically? No, it's not.
Jordan, Go ahead.
No, you want me to go? You can go.
Yeah. Go ahead, because you're gonna say Jordan Blade, and that's what's more important than my name.
Jordan Blade defeats Il O'Neil at DC Bramatica. Who else? Andino defended his Chocolate City Championship against Brooke Valentine. O'Shea Edwards saved and killed Elijah Friday all in the same move. It was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, he saved his life and then killed him. It was amazing.
He had to be the one to do it. I can understand that.
It's O'Shea.
I've been there. It's like nah, fam. I'm the one that's got to do the deed. Like nobody else can do it. I got to do it. I get that.
It was amazing because he caught him, and I was like, oh no, Friday, your head. But O'Shea caught him and picked him back up and had him set, and then boom, kaiju driver. And I was like, oh man, he saved him just to kill him.
Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
But I'm trying to think. What else is there? Did I say anything else?
I know. I can tell you that Isaiah Frazier and Red Dog went over Eric Ekton and AK. So over at Voltage on Thursday night, as well as Beastman over Boar. That happened.
You're right. That did happen.
Also, Danny Moe went over Stan Styles.
I was just about to say that one.
Yep.
Just because it just literally popped up
on my match too.
Yeah, on my Facebook feed. I was like, oh, there it is. But yeah, so make sure you check out your indies in your area. Like I said earlier, Harvard de Grace, Maryland. EWA is their debut in Harvard de Grace. The Ignite Dog will be in there. Prince Machiavelli, the Red Dog, and myself facing off against these three colonizers, and we're gonna whip their ass.
We also had the best promo.
I believe that.
Yes. Oh, you would think it's funny. It's hilarious. You got to see it.
All right,
We should have pulled it up on here so you could play it for everybody. That would have been cool. Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
No. Yeah. No, definitely send it to me though.
Yeah, next time.
It's
All right.
It's in our special group chat, actually.
All right,
It is in there. It is in that one.
It is in there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's get down to it. Temp check. All right. For those who don't know what temp check is where we will give you our hottest and or coldest wrestler going into this week. So let's go. Dark Lord, temp check.
I would be a fool.
What's the temperature like?
I'd be a fool to not say this person as the hottest wrestler of the week. I have to give it to Sammy.
Sammy? Okay. Solid.
Yeah. Coldest wrestler? Wow, actually, this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to have to give it to Brock.
Mm-hmm. I can give it.
Wow, this is all WWE people. Interesting.
Dang,
All right,
that's crazy. Is that run?
That is. No, well, it's runts with mixed with grease monkey.
Okay. It's definitely the run though. It's definitely the run.
Yeah. It's hitting right now. It's hitting right.
Of course. Of course. All right, Red Dog, who you got? Temp check. What's the temperature like over there?
I think I'm gonna go hottest wrestler. It's really hard not to put in Sami Zayn's name. Especially because like Roman did such an amazing job like getting him like over. Like he wasn't even he was already over going into Canada. I think I'm just gonna have to go with that because man, I heard it on the TV. I can only imagine what it was like in the arena though, and it was probably deafening. So I gotta give it to Sami Zayn as well. My coldest wrestler of the week. Honestly, it's probably gonna have to be Darby Allin because that man kind of like I know I'm glad that he's on vacation. I'm glad for him, right? But I think I don't know. If only I can only think the only other person that was maybe colder, even though he had a fire ass match, maybe Danny Garcia.
All right. I'm gonna start with my coldest wrestler. My coldest wrestler is gotta be Wheeler Yuta. Just Yuta hasn't been doing much except for his tag matches with BBC. And no, that is the Black Bull Combat Club. And
Black Bull.
That's what I said.
It sounded like you said Black Bull. And I was like, no, that's not right.
No. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, Yuta. Yeah, coldest wrestler. Hottest wrestler. You'd be a fool to not mention Sami Zayn. But you would be a bigger fool if you did not mention the new IWGP Women's Champion Mercedes Moné, the CEO, the boss. That's my hottest wrestler of the week. Because I'm not a big fool. I may be a fool, but I'm not a bigger fool. You all.
I don't know, man.
Listen. That San Jose was rocking. San Jose was rocking. I mean,
I'm sure San Jose was rocking.
It don't have. I will say this. I'm gonna say this, and I know it's your problem. It's probably not going to be a big pop because of I think the audience size and the arena makes a difference. But they were just as loud. If it was the same amount of people, they were just as loud for Mercedes as they were Sammy. Now, is Sammy more over in Canada? Yes, absolutely. But I think that San Jose crowd was literally there to see Mercedes and Kyrie. That card was built off of Mercedes' name. Nothing else but that.
I'm not saying that it wasn't.
That crowd was rocking from the moment that said that doom, money, doom. That crowd was going crazy. They were going crazy for the backup dancers before the entrance. Okay?
Well,
So-
I mean, they were going crazy for like a minute and a half before Sammy's music even hit.
You're absolutely correct.
Like he's just standing there. Like they were just going nuts.
What we can agree on though, Sammy was over. Mercedes was over. What's not over is Chaz's impression of Stephen A. Smith. You got to stop. You can't do that. You got to let that go. Don't act like I wasn't here watching you and then just watching the man. I was like, this man doing his Stephen A. impression. Like, you need to chill that out. I'm clipping that and I'm posting this up.
Of course you would. Of course you would. Of course.
You would be a fool, but you would be a bigger fool. Like this man.
Oh, this is not me this time.
Shout out to Stephen A. Smith.
I'm sure he can appreciate the comment.
But yeah, no, man. I don't think y'all are wrong with the Sammy. Like, you won't get an argument out of me for Sami Zayn. Like, if you would go to someone and be like, all right, who's the highest wrestler this week? Sami Zayn. All right, yeah, I get you. I get that. Absolutely. By hands down. I mean, I said it earlier. I said about 4 times the different people. Yesterday's match between Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns was cinema. That was cinema at its finest.
It was like a master fucking piece.
It was cinema, and I hope Jay Bougie gets pissed off at the word cinema. It was cinema. That was cinema.
Dude, like, it was great. Storytelling at its finest.
Absolutely. I've started to see how Roman plans his matches, because if you watch this match and rewatch Cardiff, it's the same match. 2 ref bumps, bloodline interference, hero moment after the match. I was like, oh, yeah. So maybe it is now. Maybe we've gotten to the point where it is time for the reign to end.
No, it is. Like, he doesn't got to get to 1,000. Like,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I was about to say maybe we're getting into all right. Roman's getting a little stale. Not to say that's not a bad thing. Not to say it's a bad thing either.
Well, you also have to think back in the day. You got to remember, back in the day, the champion didn't wrestle as much as Roman has been wrestling. That's one.
That's true.
That's true. And Roman's not even wrestling a lot either.
And then the show. But I'm just saying, the shows were not a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, if you think about it, his current reign equals those reigns of the past that are in the number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever spots. Like, hands down, that is the best reign of the modern era right now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, you get no better than that. No matter when he loses this. Like, technically, he could have lost it last night, and it still would have been a stellar reign.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, happy that it didn't, but, you know.
Oh, man, listen. We're gonna get to that, because I got a lot of issues with you internet wrestling community marks. Okay, I got gripes. So let's start there. First topic. All right. Should Sami Zayn have won the Universal Undisputed Championship last night? Okay. Should he have won? Let's start with you, Cliff. Okay. And then we'll go Damien, and I will come in at the end and probably raise hell.
I'm going to say absolutely not.
Thank you. Someone with some sense in the IWC.
I say it though, because like, I get it. Like, it puts on this like nice little bow tie, like on a story that like Sammy has been like fighting, and it would make sense for him to win in his hometown, right? In Canada. Like, it'd be great. It would be a great story. It really would. But then what? What's the next match? Where do we go from? Especially with WrestleMania right around the corner. Where do we go from there? Like, are we really like? I don't want to knock it, right? Because Sammy is a draw. Sammy is a draw. He's a massive draw. A lot of fans have like been following him for a long time. But is the matchup really going to be between Roman Reigns and Sammy for the title, or Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Sammy for the title? No, not really. And I'm not really on board with it, right? Like Kofi Mania got hot, right, at the Rumble, right? And the crowd just got behind him and really rode that out and really pushed for him to get into that spot. Daniel Bryan, same exact thing, right? Like he was over. Fans wanted that matchup. Now I know the fans want Sami Zayn, but it's like there's nothing to go on after all of this. Like there just isn't. And I love Sammy's work, but I think right now the position that needs to kind of sit in is Sammy and KO versus the Usos for the titles at the tag titles at Mania. And then from there we can, when they drop the titles, then we push Sammy into the SummerSlam spot, right? And we push for Sammy to get into that main event match, whoever the champion is at that time. I think that's where it fits next. But right now, no, absolutely not. I don't think that's the move.
All right. So, I mean, of course, if he had a 1, right, that would have like blew the seams out of like off the building. However, I agree what they did, because then you're gonna fuck up Cody's story if you have, if you have Sammy win. Like it's like it just fucks it up. It waters it down. Like it's like, oh, well, now he's. I mean, not saying that the match wouldn't be fire. The match between Cody and Sammy would be fire. However, it wouldn't mean the same. He's got to beat the big bad wolf. Like he's got to beat Roman in order for the story to really come full circle and work out. So, yeah, it's like anybody, like, oh, don't get me wrong. Like, during the match, it's like, oh, shit, this would be cool if Sammy won. And was my heart broken with Sammy when he lost? Yes. Yes, it was. Like, I was like, damn. Like, if this was, like, I don't know, like last year, would have been all right. But it isn't. It was good to build in that moment to further that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that they stuck with their guns, because that was a bold move.
Yeah, absolutely. Man,
that was a bold move. Like that could have ended badly.
It could have. Oh yes. That's why I just think it's crazy that like Twitter last night was in such a fit. And it was and the crazy thing was it was a lot. Like I expected that there were people who was like, no, go. Like I just didn't think they were the majority. Like all Twitter, all just scrolling. I'm like, someone stop talking about it. Talk about what's on in New Japan while I get my stream up. Like, bro, why are we mad about this? Why? And I just think, why would you switch up why would you end like you said, the best reign of the modern era, right? 900 days. Why would you end that on the show before your biggest show of the year?
Don't make sense.
No, makes absolute jack shit. And then here's the thing. There are people, and this is why fans are fans and not bookers, or don't work for promotions, because I saw this and I wanted to I felt a blood vessel pop. They said, oh, but let Sammy win it and he can just lose it back to Roman on SmackDown. My G, what?
Why? But why though? Why?
So he can get his feel good moment. What?
But that's
the problem is, ever since the pandemic and Drew didn't get his moment, now everyone's got to get a feel good moment in their hometown. Drew didn't get it in Cardiff. Why do y'all think they're gonna give it to Sammy in Canada? Why? Like, no, man.
But that should be
Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns is not a main event WrestleMania match. Don't matter what era you put it in, what promotion you put it in, it's not the match. It's not. That is not a main event match for WrestleMania. Yes, SummerSlam, cool. No, Cliff, no. Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns is not a WrestleMania main event. If I give you no, that does not give me.
There's one way it can work.
Don't give me Hulk versus Andre or Cena and Rock or Stone Cold and Rock.
It can work only one way. One way it would only work is if WrestleMania was in Montreal. If WrestleMania was in Montreal.
The only way.
That's what I'm saying.
And the chances of them doing Mania outside of the United States is way off. We got to get at least the other big 4 pay-per-views out the country first before we get another Mania out of the country. Get out of here with that, man. No. Cody Rhodes is the only legitimate contender and the only legitimate superstar that is built to take on Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You know, the big show, the Super Bowl of wrestling. Yeah, like, no, man. Sami Zayn, as much as this story has been great over the past year, and it has, I think Lovely said it on Twitter, the bloodline saved professional wrestling because it made it interesting again. And it has. But the story is not about Sami. Sami Zayn was a part-time side character that just got a little bit more lines in this half of the season. But he's not the protagonist. Cody Rhodes is the protagonist. This is his story. This is just the side mission. The main mission in this video game is Cody Rhodes coming back to the WWE to win the WWE Championship for his family. Finish the story. No, we're not going to start another story to just, no. Sami Zayn lost last night because that was the best decision and the right decision. And then people wonder about, why did Kevin wait till the end? Why would Kevin come out in the first place?
His best friend turned on him in 2 different occasions. His best friend turned on him. So
my man's been dogging him for months, talking about some beating his tail with the bloodline. Like, they not friends. Why would he come out?
Yeah.
But he hit Roman with the chair. That was not for Kevin.
No, that was for him.
And that was for Sami. Sami for the past 2 weeks before the Rumble, maybe 3 weeks. No, since I think it was good right before the Cena match, the tag match on SmackDown. There was the dysfunction in the bloodline. It was season. That was for him. Kevin was just there. That's why Kevin didn't shake his hand. That's why Kevin just looked at him like, oh, what was Kevin doing? He waited till that. Get the crap out of here, man. You IWC marks. Get on my nerves.
You keep saying that the story wouldn't work, right? Cody tore his listen. Cody tore his pectoral muscle, right? He was supposed to have like this giant build about like how he's making his way through and beating people, right? And he tore his pectoral muscle. Now, had he not, then I probably would agree with you that like there is no way that Sami doesn't get put in this position, right? But what ended up happening was that while he was away, Sami came into this he came in as a side character, right? And as a side character, he started to build up a little bit of momentum, right? And then obviously Vince wanted him gone like in October, right? But because of situations, we kept him on and we kept tagging it along, and he kept building this bigger ball, right? And kept moving and moving, and things kept getting bigger and bigger to the point where fans in Saudi Arabia who should not be cheering for Sami were asking for Sami to show up. On a global scale, this man was being asked to show up to a place where he's banned from, okay? So as he's building up, the fans are getting behind him, and it's getting bigger. The ball just can't get stopped. So to have this event just so happen to be in Canada made sense, right? It made sense. Yeah. Now, if you run like, let's just say it was Kevin Owens versus Sammy, right, or Kevin Owens and Roman at Elimination Chamber instead of the other way, right? Let's just say it is that case, and then and we play out everything just like what happened at Rumble, but we play it out in the Elimination Chamber. Okay, so Kevin's about to get hit with this chair. Sammy grabs it, he turns, boom, hits him with a chair. We've now established that Sammy is going to be the dude who goes against going against Roman, right? He's just established that this is a big moment, and that could happen. That could have happened. We could have waited a full month to pull the trigger to really say, "Hey, here's your day one main event," right? Maybe not day two because Cody obviously coming back and win a Rumble makes sense. Okay, but if Cody doesn't come back, there was nothing wrong with having Sami Zayn as the guy because his story got just as hot as what Cody did.
Well, that's that. I mean, that's if you're taking Cody out the equation, but Cody's in the equation.
But even with Cody being in the equation now,
if Cody wasn't in the equation at all, if Cody doesn't win the Rumble, come back, win the Rumble, and we do all that like you said, fine, yes, all right, cool. It's not the WrestleMania marquee main event that I'm that pops.
Yeah, it's not a night two main event.
No, but I'll it's fine. But Cody's in the equation. But we gotta talk about Cody in the equation though, because we're trying to push past Cody, like Cody not the bigger star.
Cody is the bigger star. There's no doubt about that. But the thing is that Cody's story, is just as hot as what Sammy's story is that he's been telling over a longer period of time. Like, I get it. I get what you're saying, and I understand. I agree with you. But at the same time, you can't say there's no way, this is never going to be a marquee match, because that story with Sammy and Roman got just as hot as it is with Cody talking about winning a title for his family. Like, it just did. Like, the fans, listen, he goes to different arenas by himself, and the crowd erupts for Sammy. Like, even if Roman's not on the card, like, when Sammy shows up, like, the crowd goes ape shit. Like, they did it the week before when he was on SmackDown, and they weren't even in Canada. The crowd was going crazy when he popped through the crowd and just smoked Roman. You know what I mean? Like, you can't sit back and deny how hot it was. Yeah.
Now, just like Kofi Mania, just like the Yes Movement and Daniel Bryan, we all cheered for them. We were behind them, saying, "Hey, this is the person that we want." They give it to us. Then what? It fizzled out, which is what would have happened even if you had Sammy win.
But here's the problem. Here's the same problem.
We would have got behind it. We would have got behind it. It's the same
problem that we would have with Cody. It's the same problem we would have with Cody.
No.
You think, first of all, you think for a minute that this, you don't think that this is, come on, man. Stop being like that.
No.
This is, as much as we can talk about it.
Cody winning at Mania is not going to fizzle out by SummerSlam.
Whatever. It has every chance of doing so.
Oh, but it won't. It won't. No.
Okay. So then let's talk. Let's be real. Who's after Roman? After Roman, because let's be real. Okay. After Roman. Okay. Who's next? After Roman.
After Roman?
Yeah, after Roman. So we're gonna call it out. WrestleMania Backlash is gonna be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Let's be real. Okay. So after WrestleMania Backlash, it's Roman and Cody. Okay. After that, who's next?
Who's next? You give me somebody from Judgment Day. Give me Balor. Give me Priest. Give me Gunther. There's so go through the heels on SmackDown. Go through all the heels on SmackDown.
But the problem is that you have to look for the same guys that are here, right? And here, there we go. WWE hasn't built anybody up to be here. Austin Theory is about as close as we're getting right now. Gunther is great, okay? And yeah, there's that great possibility that he drops that IC title, he moves up into that championship reign. There is. And he would have a great match with Cody. But the problem is that WWE hasn't built anybody else other than Austin Theory. So it has to be him, right?
Gunther? You don't think
when we look, no, I didn't say, no. I just say that WWE has focused mainly with the Austin Theory story. Gunther's story is underlyingly hot. Like, I love watching Gunther's work. But in that same token, when we're looking at it, it's not what Austin Theory is doing. Austin Theory has been the premier dude. They've been showcasing him every chance of the way that they got a chance, or every time they get a chance to, they show him. My point being, though, is that the problem with Kofi Mania and the problem with Daniel Bryan was there was no other people built up as like that next big heel that could knock off Kofi until Brock Lesnar showed up, and that's what we're looking at right now. So after Roman, who's next? And the funny thing is, it could be when it comes to Sammy winning the title, the next pay-per-view, Sammy versus Roman at WrestleMania Backlash. Then we go, who's next? It's the same problem. It's just WWE has it, and I think that's where Triple H is like really starting to get to better showcase, right? He's showing us that, hey, here's some possible guys that we're going to start pushing to build them up because that's what's going to be next. And it's just right now, there's a lack of dudes. There's not another person that you could say is the top heel outside of Roman.
Gunther.
I'm
gonna stick with Gunther. I'm gonna stick.
You can stick with him, but I'm just saying,
Gunther.
He's not and not that I would be knocking like this, right? But he's not at the Roman Reigns heel heat. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Roman Reigns says Roman Reigns is at 3 years of this.
I know he's on God mode. Like I get it. He's
on God mode.
But my problem though is that
you gotta beat the game at least twice on hard mode to get God mode.
once he goes down, okay, there's not another person there that you could be like, oh, that's the guy who. Let's say Cody wins, you'd be like, oh, Seth Rollins would be that guy. Is he though? Like I would like to think Seth is, but are you gonna run that back? And then what happens after that? Listen. The other part that I have that's going to end up happening is that, and I'm going to call it right now, some of you guys are going to call me out for this. The fans are going to turn on Cody just like they did at AEW.
God. If I hear that dumb take.
Okay, so.
No, they are not. Why do we always. No, they're not, bro.
All right,
they're not.
Okay, we'll wait.
Those kids, and those women and those WWE shows are not turning on Cody. You are forgetting that the demographic and that the fan base are two different fan bases. The AEW fan base are for 18 to 49-year-old men. For us, we turned on Cody. The women and kids did not turn on Cody. If you go back through all of that, women and kids were still cheering for Cody. It was the douchebag males that were booing Cody. That they just want to be. Like, no, man. Like, no, they're not going to. They're not. We keep saying that the crowd's going to turn on Cody. The crowd. No, it's not going to happen.
The thing was, what was
AEW and WWE may be still wrestling, but they're two different demographics.
But the problem is
two different viewerships. It's not.
Here's why I'm going to tell you. Here's why I'm going to tell you why. Here's why I'm going to tell you why it happens. Right? It happens because the same way with Kofi Mania, the same way with Daniel Bryan. Right? The fans just lost interest after they got their feel-good moment. That's it.
But Cody's more interesting than.
All right, so this is why. Well, Cody's going to be a little bit more interesting for one reason and one reason only. There's more potential. There's more potential for him to wrestle that we've never seen. Regardless of who it is. I mean, really think about it though. Regardless of who it is, like there's a lot more possibilities for him to face people that we haven't seen him face before. Where Sammy is probably faced pretty much everybody on the roster at some point.
He hasn't faced Gunther. He hasn't faced him yet.
Well, no, he hasn't.
Pulling the Chaz.
No, he hasn't. I didn't say there wasn't any. I didn't say there wasn't any people.
You look like I need a new battery.
I'm just saying that there is more possibilities for Cody to wrestle people that we don't know, that we never seen.
I feel that. Like,
so it's a little bit pressure.
We could definitely get like, Sheamus and Cody. We can get Drew and Cody. We can get, we'll probably run back with Seth, right? We can get Sammy and Cody. We can get Kevin Owens. I understand the matchups. We could get Cody and what's his name? Jeez. Karrion Kross.
That's not who I was talking about, but sure. He Legado del Fantasma. What is his name?
Shit.
Damn.
That's
Escobar?
a great.
Escobar
Santos.
Santos. Yes,
That's it.
Couldn't think of his name. Sorry.
Oh wow,
But yeah,
we're horrible.
terrible people. But that'll smack all fire. Like you just like you, I mean, you have a good point.
I understand where we're
You're
getting.
right. I mean, you're right where you're saying, like, yes, they have not built any credible heels after underneath Roman. You're right. But Mania is not till April. We still got March. We still got April and May to see what Triple H does. And Cody. They're not going to turn on Cody. Like this is not AEW. Match of the week.
But fans of AEW watch WWE too.
That's fine, but that's not their main demographic. The kiddies and the women watch the E. They're the ones.
That's what my family likes. I ain't gonna lie. They don't really like AEW too much.
They're not like, bruh. Like,
notice how he said his family doesn't, but he does.
No, I didn't say I did either. Look, the funny part about it is when I watch it with my wife, she always got screw face. It's always like, but why did they do that?
I understand that.
Like it's one of those where it's like she's not shitting on them. It's just like, okay, that was entertaining until they did. Why did they do that?
Yo, okay, so for match of the week, can we put a caveat to this match of the week?
No main
because
event.
Let's be real. We're all gonna say it. We're all gonna be like, "Oh man, Roman and Sami had Elimination Chamber," or we're gonna say Kyrie and Mercedes Moné in New Japan. Like we gotta pick a match outside of those two because those.
That's fine. Okay, fine.
Matches.
That's fine.
Right,
That's caveat.
I got one.
That's fine. That's fine. And I have one already. Boom. The men's Elimination Chamber match.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you so much.
I knew you were going to say that, Damien. That's why I went first.
You're a dick.
I knew you could.
Fine. I'll pick something different, and it'll be on the same show. And it shockingly surprised me. Actually, I didn't think I was going to like it that much. But the mixed tag team match.
That's what Cliff was going to say. I already know he's going to say that.
Beth and Edge and Rhea and Finn. That was actually really good. It had no business being that good. I was pleasantly surprised that the women, like, they got to be the workhorses. I think that's what made it even cool. Like, they did most of the work.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great. I enjoyed it way too much.
I'm gonna take Eddie Kingston versus Jay White at New Japan. Because there's no way in hell that I'm going to let this man be like, hey, yo, see, I knew he could pick the mixed tag match. No, not at all. I'm taking the other one, New Japan. You know what really?
Did you even watch the match? Did you watch that match?
I did watch the match. I did watch it.
You're just taking my word for it.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, but I had to watch at 1.5 speed, so I'm definitely like cruising through it, like trying to hurry up and get to the Mercedes match. So it was like, I was like, I'm watching. Like, I happened to like, so I was like, sorry guys, I was streaming it, right, and so I had to jump. I jumped forward. I jumped too far forward, and I legitimately jumped right where Eddie and Jay White were in the ring together, and I was like, we're just gonna start from here. And I had to go back, but I was like, yo, I'm just gonna watch now. So I just sat down and watched the match. And I was like, yo, actually, Daniel, I was really surprised and happy with it. I will tell you one match that's not gonna be on my match of the week, and I think we all collectively agreed that as fun as Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar was, just beating the holy hell out of each other, that match is not going to be on this list.
No,
even if I had a top 10 list,
it wouldn't be on the top 10. No, it wouldn't.
Would not be on the top 10.
That finish just
Yeah, I hate the finish.
By the way, The reason I want Cody to win is because it would be nice if Jay White shows up right after Cody wins.
There you go, Cliff. There's your heel.
He's going to AEW. What you mean?
No, he's not. He's not going there. No, he's not. No, he's
I just
not.
wanted to see your reaction to it.
He's not.
It's me saying that. You kidding me? Switchblade is showing up on AEW. His friends are there. He must have worked with his friends. Don't you know friendships matter in this business?
So why is Cody why Cody leave then?
He don't have friends in AEW. MJF is his only friend, and MJF is trying to leave too.
Ricky Starks is his friend.
Ricky's gonna probably leave too.
I know Ricky's gonna probably leave too.
Listen. I don't want to knock that, right? Because Ricky is also friends with Sammy Guevara, right? And there's a bunch of friends over there. It's hard for me because like Adam Cole left NXT and so did Kyle O'Reilly, right? They left NXT instead of going to the main roster. They left NXT and they went to AEW. So and to see Cody back over at WWE, like it's kind of hard for me to be like, hey, yo, like friendships matter. Like they kind of do for AEW, but WWE, they're like, nah, man, no love here. We just gonna go do our thing. Like, and I get it. It's a different environment, but I was like, holy hell, like that's a giant ass move.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's go with it's time for this or that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we took a whole 30 minutes to argue.
Yeah, we did.
Over Cody.
I mean, yeah, y'all did.
Yeah, we did. 100%. Damien was just like, Damien's just here.
I'm just like, all right. Wow.
But before this or that, give me, Damien, what grinds your gears?
Oh, yeah.
What grinds your gears? So we won't.
Yeah.
He's on his run right now. Nothing's grinding his gears.
No. Tony has made me angry.
I was about to say, I know Tony made him mad about that the tweet about
that. Oh my God. All right, so my question to you, Tony, right? If you're watching,
like asking Tony caught a question on the air. Hey yo, he said,
I want to know why in certain situations, like you just cool to let bullshit happen in front of you, but yet certain things you got your big boy pants on. Like, why can't you keep the same energy? Like I don't get it.
So, okay, let me ask this question because I've been trying to find this information out for a little bit. What was it that Ariel said that got under Tony's skin so bad that he called him a fake journalist? Because I've been watching Ariel. I've been watching Ariel for a long time.
I think he was because all right. So I believe it started with the interview he did with them when he was just beating around the bush about the All Out situation that he couldn't answer questions, but instead of just being like, look, for legal reasons, period, I'm just not answering those questions. Or he could have just said that from jump before they started fucking talking, and that would have never came up. He would have had to go a different direction. But because of the way that interview went and just how horrible it was, and then him voicing his opinion for about 30 minutes or 20 minutes, something shit like that. He did like a video bitching about it.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And he was pissed. Yeah, and he was pissed about it, which I get. So it was like since then, there kind of like been a little bit of friction.
Yeah.
And then him showing up on WWE, Tony got mad and had that big boy energy.
Well, like that just threw me off because it just came like way out of left field. Like all of a sudden, like this tweet comes out and it was just like, "You're about as fake as a journalist as Tony Schiavone." I was like, "Whoa, yeah, wild! Tony's a real journalist in the AEW world. Like, what do we mean? Like, don't you talk about my childhood voice like that for pro wrestling?"
But it was unnecessary. He got butthurt because he was on WWE television.
And I kind of felt like that. It might have been that. It's just like he showed up on WWE. But, to be fair with Ariel, that was his dream. That was a goal of his, was to be on WWE at least once, man. So
and he was on there twice. He was on there on SmackDown, and he ended up on the pay-per-view, and he was on the pre-show panel, and he had a segment. What you call it? He got to narrate something. Bro did a lot for WWE for the being in Canada. I mean, he's a Canadian, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
And in his hometown.
Exactly.
It made sense. It made sense.
And he did the whole thing with GSP.
Right, bro. Like Tony need to get out his feelings. Man.
Nah, that's what I said.
He just
Tony.
mad nobody watched Rampage on Friday at 7:00.
Look, if you keep that same energy that you had with your tweets and the stuff about WWE when you get asked about it with the rest of your shit, everything would be all right.
And shout out to Michael Cole for
Fuck
throwing,
yeah.
for throwing his little mini shot out there too.
I heard that.
My Ariel, unbiased combat sport journalist. I was like, I caught that.
I will say I do enjoy the pettiness on both sides.
Yeah, it's it. A little pettiness never hurt nobody.
No, it doesn't, and it's good that they both think that they're great. But Tony, stay away from the coke, the shrooms, whatever. Like I told you, go to rehab, bro. Get that shit fixed.
Damn.
All right, this is that.
Compare the picture from 3 years ago to now. Am I wrong? He looks strung out. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
Exactly. All right. This or that. Let's go.
I'm pleading the fifth. I'm trying to get a job. I'm pleading the fifth.
I mean, so am I. But see, if
you
he
want to
hires
go,
me,
you want to be. You
he
want to put in
knows
the
I'll
work
be
with
honest.
I mean, I feel bad.
He knows I will be honest with him.
I can't wait for that moment where he just like asks. He's like, Damien, how do you feel like today's show went? Went like shit. Cut him.
Get rid of him.
I don't like his attitude. Does not work well with others.
But he's our TNT champion. Fuck him.
Vacate that title.
Get rid of the
interim
belt.
champion.
The dumb belt anyway.
See, I don't want to wrestle for him. I refuse to wrestle for him. However, I will work behind the scenes for him.
Which cameraman is he? Not important. You said he's in the production truck? Which button? Cut him. We'll just get one of those little mockingbirds that has like with the water underneath it and just like taps it. To change the camera angle.
I probably would get fired real quick. Real quick. I would not last the whole contract. I give it 6 months before either I quit or he quit. One of us is going. He's either going to fire my ass or I'm going to quit.
Quitting.
Well, I meant he's either going to fire me or I'm going to quit. One of the two is going to happen. One of us is going to break.
Either I'm going to quit or he's going to quit me. Like
yeah, pretty much.
Hey, so let's hop into this or that real quick, right? So this or that, we're going to pit main events against each other. Which was a better main event? Elimination Chamber with, yes, Sami Zayn and Roman, or let's just call it a New Japan women's match, right? Mercedes Moné and Kyrie.
Okay. Well, I gotta think about that.
All right. All right. I think I have my decision, and there might be some slight bias, just a little bit, slight bias, but I'm gonna have to go with Sammy and Roman, and I think it's because I watched that with my wife and kids. So, and then just the energy from them being hyped about it, and then the energy from the crowd, and the match was fucking amazing. Dude, it didn't feel like almost an hour for that whole segment and match to go through. Just to stare down for what, like 5+ minutes alone?
Yeah.
Just that alone. There you go. That's my choice.
All right, Cliff, what you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and take. I'm gonna go the opposite way, and I'm gonna do it just purposely, right? intentionally. My whole heart is into the Roman and Sami Zayn match because it definitely was
You've
a
been
fire
making me
match.
mad all show.
But yep, so now I'm gonna take the Kyrie
Oh
and
my
Mercedes
gosh.
Moné match, just to piss off Chaz. And yeah, I'm gonna say I just felt like it had
That's not the
a little
match
bit
you would normally say.
more bite to it, a little bit more like fierceness to it between two women, just like trying to establish who's gonna be the more dominant female in New Japan. So I like that matchup a lot more, and I'm gonna lean that way until Chaz, has the final vein in his forehead to bust. Uh, I don't know. I think that I liked everything about the match, and it didn't need any real shenanigans other than like I don't know the one table bump really, but other than that, it was just cool to see Mercedes like open up her whole arsenal of moves that she's been working on. So I'm gonna lean that way, and I like watching Kyrie sing. So it is what it is. That's my choice.
I ain't mad about that.
It is my turn. All right. As much as I love Kyrie Zane and Mercedes Moné's match, I really did. That was the last thing I watched last night before I closed my eyes and went to sleep. And quite frankly, I went to sleep very happy watching that match. Now, on the other hand, Roman and Sammy, as I said before, and I'll say it again, was cinema. Okay? That was as best as you get on telling a story. And that's what wrestling is about, telling stories. And Sammy and Roman told a story in that match, which is why it gets my this or that, and I'm picking that one over the New Japan main event. Now, I like both matches. Both matches were fire. Both matches were long, but didn't feel long because they were actually very entertaining. It kept me engaged. I legitimately, and I think Sammy hit the second haluva kick, or was it maybe the third one? I think it was the third one, and I go, oh, that's it. And it goes 1, 2. I hopped out my couch because I thought that was it. And Roman shoulder over. And I go, whoa. That don't happen to me often anymore. Nothing surprises me. Nothing gets me giddy like that anymore. But Roman and Sammy did. Like,
Oh no, they got me. They got me on a couple times.
Oh man, when Roman hit the Superman punch and the spear, and Sammy just literally just moved his shoulder over, I was like, oh, I thought that was it. Why is this not still going? Sammy, what are you doing? Like, I'm over here questioning Sammy's life choices. Like, why are you continuously getting yourself beat up, man? Please, just stop it. Just
No,
stop
it had everything. It had everything it needed to have. But both main events were really, really like spectacular.
Yeah.
Like they were both perfect.
Okay.
Like it was hard for me to make a choice, but I just feel like Sammy and Roman had just that little bit extra. Possibly with the bigger crowd, them being in Montreal. It was the perfect good versus evil.
Agree. Yes, and that's why I think probably it gets the spot over Kyrie and Monet. Whereas more of you had the emotion behind Mercedes coming back into the wrestling world. Her first match outside of the E. And it's against Kyrie, someone who she worked with a lot back in over there in WWE. So there was a lot more behind the scenes emotion with that. Whereas the overarching story, you got the full story arc with Sammy and Roman. So yeah, no, like I said, both matches were fire. And if you've not seen either or, you need to definitely watch that because
you need to pause this episode and then go watch both those matches, then unpause this episode and then tell Chaz, like, hey, you might have had a point.
It'll be the first time in 3-4 years that I've had a point. So it works. That's fine. All right. If you made it to the end of the show, my PlayStation. Hey, listen. If you made it to the show, congratulations. Okay, thank you. All right, especially after this very intense episode between me and Cliff, where Damien was just the mediator for the first time.
Yeah, no, it was kind of cool actually that I wasn't involved in that. I enjoyed myself. If you want to be
and we were
honest.
so. And the funny thing was, like, we had a show where we were supposed to talk about like debuts and returns and finishes. For
Yeah,
and it just never got to that point.
Never happened.
Man, no, it was great. No, it was great. And the messed up part is, I agree with both of y'all. So, like, I really had nothing to say. I was like, damn, well, I kind of understand where he's coming from, but nah, he's making sense too. Damn. That's why I had that little comment at the end. Like, but you know, none of y'all, nobody said this. This is like the only thing y'all didn't say.
Yeah, we were going, and I go, all right, we were finishing up on that, and I look at our time, and I go, oh my God, we've been arguing for 30 minutes. We've been talking for 45 minutes, and I was like, oh my goodness, because I leave at least 15 minutes for at least the intros and the intro shenanigans and crap. But yeah, so all
right, well,
if you haven't already. Yeah, if you haven't done so, buy a shirt. Follow us on social media.
Don't follow me.
Don't follow him.
No, please
That's
don't.
why his social media is not on there. Okay, if you notice, I have mine.
Yeah, mine will not be.
No,
yeah, mine will
you're
not
pointing
be
it to the point.
No,
there you go. Now you're on point.
Yeah, you good, bro. Because if I take a picture right now, I'm pointing at it on my screen.
Yeah, you're not.
That's like I'm gonna take a picture right now, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna put in the chat that I am pointing, and y'all post this on social media so y'all know that I'm not tripping. Like that's
this
really
is why I
what
legit put myself in the middle, and then I just do this because like I know if I'm pointing in the middle, at least I know I'm right. Where you was like right here,
like man. And there's a blurry picture at that. All right, guys. I'm Chaz. That's the Red Dog. That's the Dark Lord. We'll see y'all next week. Shout out. To you Eagles fans. Ha ha. Y'all lost. Go Chiefs. Shout out to Rihanna. And shout out to Darius Carter.
The Super Bowl was happening.
Yeah, shout out to Darius Carter and Faye Jackson right now, beating the crap out of each other in DC right now. Faye Jackson making her return back to the ring. And, the richest prize in the business right now, Darius Carter doing work. Yeah.
Also, if you hang out to the end of this episode, you're going to see the trailer the promo that we did for EWA. So you guys can check that out.
Oh.
Bye.
Is it playing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you going to play it? Because I was getting ready to start talking. It's a good thing I didn't.